Alright, so we're going to get a startup of the SS right now, see how it sounds. How's it going, guys? It's K Cars, and I know a lot of you guys have been asking for more Challenger videos. So today we're actually going to be taking a little trip to Mexico with the Challenger and this Chevy SS. And it's not just any old regular Chevy SS. This thing's actually cammed, and it has a few other modifications that we're going to talk about. So just a little bit about this car. This is a 2014 Chevy SS, and the mods that he has on this car are an intake, long tube headers, a Corsa catback, a stage 2 BTR cam, and a torque converter, and of course also a dyno tune. This thing looks really nice. He does have some exterior mods on it as well. Just to give you guys a walk around here, I think it's a pretty good looking car in my opinion. I especially like the back angle of these cars. It just has that really wide stance, as you can see right there. That's what I like about this thing. So with all those mods, this thing puts down 435 horsepower to the wheels, so that's what it dynoed at. It does weigh about 4,000 pounds, I believe, which is less than the Challenger, so that's kind of surprising to me because this is a 4-door, but then again, the Challenger's a boat, so that explains that. So this thing did have 415 crank horsepower stock. That's what they came with. Moving on to the Challenger, if you guys didn't know, this is a 2016 Challenger ScatPack. It has Cook's long tube headers, Catalyst mid pipes, and a dyno tune. Those are the main performance mods on this car. I do have some exterior stuff and like a mid muffler delete, which doesn't really add any performance to it. So headers, mid pipes, and dyno tune. This thing did dyno 470 horsepower to the wheels. They came stock with 485 to the crank, and this thing also weighs 4,200 pounds. I think this race is going to be pretty close just because the SS has the weight advantage. It's about 200 pounds lighter, and then the Challenger has the horsepower advantage, so it's 470 versus 435 for the SS. Then I know I just keep making excuses with this car just in case I lose, but another disadvantage with the Challenger is that I'm still on the stock 245s that came with this car, like stock 4 years ago. So that's not going to be good for starting at a lower speed. And then the SS, he has 275s on the rear. These are Michelin Pilot Super Sport, so yeah, he also has the traction advantage here, but I think it's going to be a really good race. I actually have raced this car before. It was actually a few years ago, back when the Challenger was all stock. All it had was a mid muffler delete, which, like I said, doesn't really do anything for the performance. And then the SS, all it had was headers. Here's how that race went. As you can see, I was pulling on him just barely there at the end. So now that I have headers, Catalyst mid pipes, and a tune, and he has a cam and a tune along with the headers, I think it's definitely going to be a pretty interesting race to watch. All right, so we're going to get a startup of the SS right now, see how it sounds. That's really nice. You can hear it. You can hear that chop that it has. It's really nice. I like that a lot. Now this thing isn't like crazy loud just when it's idling. You'd expect it to be a lot louder with the catback, the headers, and the cam, but this thing screams when you're actually on it. Like when this thing goes flying past you, it just screams so loud. It might even be louder than the Challenger, so I don't know. It's gonna be a close race, I think. It'll be a lot of fun. Alright, so as you guys saw from those videos, we did have some really good runs. I think there were, we did 4 total races. I think there were about 2 whenever we started equally, and then there was one whenever the SS jumped, and then the other one, I think I jumped. So overall, we had 2 even runs, and as you guys saw from the video, we were pretty much dead even until we hit about 120. Then the SS barely pulled away, so I think it was really close, but I do have to give it to the SS for this race. I think the reason for that is mostly aerodynamics and also the cam. So like I said in the beginning, the Challenger does have a little bit more horsepower, but I think the cam helps a little bit more on the top end. So that with the aerodynamics, I think that's why the SS was pulling away on the top end. But overall, I think those were some really fun races that we did. I had a lot of fun doing it. Of course, we were in Mexico, so we were being safe and everything. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. So one thing that I wanted to clarify in this video is how I was actually racing. 'Cause I know in my previous racing video that I did with that Mustang GT, a lot of people in the comments were saying that, you know, you don't know how to drive, you should have been starting in 2nd gear. You know, RPMs were way too low for the speed you were starting at, and yeah, that is true. So I did want to clarify why I did that in that video and why I also started in 3rd gear in this video. The only reason for that is traction. Like, I would not have any traction if I started in 2nd gear. I would just spin the whole time and it wouldn't even be a race, to be honest. I can do a 2nd gear pull, but I have to roll into it extremely slow. Like, if this is the pedal, I literally have to roll into it like this slow to actually do a 2nd gear pull without spinning completely. So that's the whole reason why whenever I race, I start in 3rd gear, even if the RPMs are pretty low. It is faster if I start in 3rd gear than it would be if I had to roll into it from 2nd, because in 3rd I can just give it full throttle and it won't spin. So that's the only reason why I was starting in 3rd. So hopefully that clears some stuff up from the last video and this video if you guys were questioning it as well. Like I said, that was a lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you guys have any video suggestions for videos you would like to see in the future, definitely drop those down in the comments, as well as any questions that you have. If you liked this video or found it entertaining, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.